What up, what up, what up, what up, man? AFRODIASPO podcast live. We here again, man. We back with another sensational show, man. You know what the word is, man. We here. We got a hot list of the week. Hot ones coming up, man. Major, we talked about it already. This week is the release week. So
it's a lot of songs coming out.
A lot of projects coming out, man.
Jordan still, man. You know, I love Jordan so much. Man.
Respect, bro.
Jordan is so courageous, and we spoke about that earlier today.
Yeah. We're just so happy to see him back, you know, after everything he's been through.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the right time for him to elevate his music.
He goes by Jordan C, and I hope people really support him. He has an album coming out.
Yes, sir.
It's called
The Comeback.
The Comeback.
The Comeback is the title.
So he's really coming back.
Yes, sir. He's really bringing it to the heat, man.
I hope people are going to welcome him back.
Yes, sir.
Because at some point he got disappeared.
Yeah.
So now he's back, and we got Jordan.
We got Jordan C.
And we have your song coming out. You know,
Forever.
BK is a singer too, right? He's a rapper. He's a singer. He has everything.
It's making me blush in the camera now.
Of course, man.
Thank you, man. Hey,
I respect
Forever.
you for that.
Yeah. Forever is coming up, man. Like I think I covered it the last couple of weeks now. Our song is called Forever. It's for Valentine's Day. I had a chance to make it with our special talented people, Savannah, man. Just collabing with me in this music. It's a very great project. And I'm excited for it, man. I want everybody to tune in. We put a lot of work into it. And we are more than excited to share with everybody out there. So I hope it's going to come out, you know, like we want it to come out.
Forever is going to be a really good song.
Thank you so much.
I
You had a
promise
chance to work on that, man? I trust you.
Yeah.
You know, the master of everything's right here, man. You don't want to play with this guy right here.
I think that song is going to be really
yes, sir. Anything else we got going on this week?
Yeah, I have a song coming out.
Okay.
So I'm working on a song.
Yes,
I haven't got the title yet, because I'm still battling with the title,
Okay.
but the song is coming out this month.
Well, every song you release is clean anyways, man.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be a good song too.
Yeah, this guy is the master of everything. So I don't even stress about anything. When you say a song is coming out, it shocked me. I'm like, okay. That's what I gotta do. I gotta be like, yeah, I'm ready for it.
So I'll take this opportunity again to encourage people to visit this place. You know, come, let's talk about whatever you have on the market.
Yes.
If you are a musician, come. If you are a student, let's say if you are an international student,
yes,
we can welcome you to come and talk about what you're going through in classes. And, you know, maybe you can encourage somebody. Yeah. Some people are still out of this country and they want to come here. Maybe they should hear from you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then if you are a politician, if you're a business person, you are a pastor, you are a singer, you are whoever you feel like you can be, you know, maybe a prayer warrior. Come here, let's talk about it, you know.
That's like saying, man, this is the place where people get to learn, people get to have fun, people get to enjoy, they get to understand how life works, and know, keep motivating themselves to keep up with this crazy life we're going through right now, man. So, and once again, for everybody out there who hasn't subscribed to this channel, we want everybody to go ahead and subscribe right now as we speak, as a matter of fact. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel, man, because we have a lot of guests coming up.
Cool, yeah.
And it's gonna be very, very good shows coming
And
out.
we have Facebook page AFRODIASPO Media College, and also we have at the Instagram.
Yeah,
we are on Twitter too. So support however you can.
Everywhere's there.
Yeah, and then
let's go. All right, man. We're gonna dive into our guest of tonight.
I can't wait, man.
This guy,
I can't wait.
I've known. He goes by the name William FAUCHER. This guy, I grew up with this guy, basically. You know, we went to same school together, and we graduate, you know. And
is it the French school?
The French school, that's all you EGR.
So William can speak French, right?
Oh, these guys are. He taught me French.
He taught you French.
The reason why I learned French is actually because of him. Because I would love every time he would come to school, the way he carried himself, the way he jokes around, you know. I would always want to vibe with this guy. So I'm like, I got to perfect my French. So every time I hear him speak, I'm like, oh ben oui, moi je commence à faire même chose aussi, moi. Every time, I'm like, oh ben oui, c'est pas problème, moi. Je suis correct. Je parle les français québécois, c'est correct. I would be so interested in that, man. So William is going to be here tonight with us. He's got his great projects coming up. He has a page, you know, called FAUCHER Motivation that he delivers every single day to try to motivate people going through their daily lives and what they're facing, the struggles, everything. He goes through all that. So, enough talking. I'm gonna let William introduce himself, man. William, what's up? Welcome to the show, brother.
So, guys, thank you for having me. Just want to say that this is truly a blessing for me to be on this show with you guys. And I am super excited to just dive right into it.
Yes, sir.
And then tell the people, the world, to move up to the next level.
First of all, let me ask you, man. This is the first time you're in this. What do you think about
it? It is actually the second time.
Second time.
Second time.
Oh,
You visited this station.
Yeah, so it's the first time that I actually seen the podcast, in the actual room. But
Okay.
I've been here before, and I've listened to some of the production, some of the singers and
That's
the
sick.
artists
Was
around
that
here, and
the-
I've been to the other rooms as well. So it's my second
Looks like
time.
now I kind of have an idea.
Oh.
I think it must have been a few months
Yeah.
ago that I
okay.
I
came.
think we were still doing that side, right?
Yes, I think
The
Chris
live shows.
Chris was there as
Chris.
well. Yeah, and then
Oh,
he
I
had the
remember
bucket
when you
hat, and then
Yeah, I remember
now I
that.
know
he was
William.
doing with the chairs and all, talking over there. So
I think now
yeah.
I know you.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Well, you're a brother here, man. So
Thank
man,
you.
produce,
Thank
man.
you.
So thank you so much for taking your time to come here and educate us, because we know you have a good stuff going on your Instagram page. You're gonna shout out that later, man. But
Yeah.
We're gonna start from the beginning though,
Yes.
man. Because how you moved from Montreal, coming here, and then because that's the first time I met you at school. You know, I want to know how it was for you, just the transition. Because I didn't know you. You probably knew some people before that, but you didn't know me or other people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. It almost feels like I have 5 different lives in one life. Just because there's so much different chapters.
Yeah.
So then before all of this, I was born in Montreal, born and raised in Montreal, but only till I was 4 years old. And then we moved to France only since I was 6, 7 years old. And then I went to the first grade in EGR, and then we met further down the line in grade 5.
Yeah.
Right? So that was a little down the road. But initially, before all of that, before I got involved with the whole school, and I got involved in, knowing the people from our school and our area where we lived and everything. I was initially in Montreal at 4 years old. I was born there, born and raised. And we were comfortable, but we weren't rich. We were comfortable, but we weren't rich.
That's beautiful, eh?
Right? And so the reason why we all moved to France, to Europe, and then mind you that now that's a foreign country that we're in, we don't know.
Yeah.
But I did know the language though. I did know the language because when we went to France, it was French, but it's kind of different dialogue, different kind of French.
Yeah.
So it's more of the proper French.
Yeah.
French Canadian, it's kind of more broken up,
Of course. Yeah.
more native tongue
Was it
language.
in Paris or
Pontoise.
Pontoise? Okay.
It's about, I would say, 45-minute north from Paris.
To Paris? Okay.
Yeah.
How long you stayed there? You said?
So I stayed in France for almost 4 years. I would say 4 years to round it up. Yeah.
Wow.
So and the reason why I moved over there was because my parents had they were technicians in computers, so engineering in computers, and they had to fix a few problems that was going on with the government system. So they had to go to Europe and have their job based down there. So all of our family had to move, and I was only 4 years old back then, 4 or 5 years old. So that was a big experience for me. That was a big shock. It was also a big development for my future. So
That's
quite interesting.
That's a good
we could dive a lot more into it.
How old were you when you went there?
Yes. So basically, when I left Montreal, I was around 4 years old. So when I got to France, I was 4 years old.
Okay.
Before it. So can you still remember some of the things you saw there, right?
Lots.
Oh, cool. That's
And it's funny. It's funny that it's interesting.
Now I have good questions.
Yes, thank you so much. And it's interesting that you say that, because a lot of people, when we speak about the childhoods, they don't really right. So they don't really remember a lot of their childhood trauma, or what happened in the past lives that they had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because of the things that happened to me. Personally, I remember correctly because it had such a big impact on my life.
Wow.
Some of the things that kind of scars you for life. If you know you're 2 years old,
yeah.
it'll be in your subconscious forever, and you can work with that.
Can we get into that?
Yes, please ask. Feel free to ask any question, and I'll answer with the most diligent that I can. And
the question that I have is, you came from Canada, like Montreal.
Yes.
But there's French.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry,
a broken down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry,
I love
Quebec.
it though.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's interesting. Yeah. Yes.
Because when I moved here, I couldn't even a word.
Yeah, it's strange. It's like
After bonjour, the rest is just like a story.
Yeah.
But that's a funny thing though. I don't know because
it took me time for me to really catch the Quebecois English.
Yeah.
You have to pay it like even me sometimes when I go back to Montreal and Quebec.
Yeah.
They're like, you're not from here. But I am.
Really?
You're not from. You're not French Canadian. I'm like,
so wait, you changed because you
slowly development of just different kind of like different French. But yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying.
Good,
interesting.
So now leaving Montreal, to France.
Yeah.
How do you think the culture is? I'm not talking about the language itself as French because we know already the language is a bit different. But how do you compare a French person from France and a French from Quebec?
Good
For
question.
sure. Like, okay, that's a very good question.
Culture-wise.
Very, very good question. So culture-wise, there's a lot more... Yeah, both parties have a lot of politics involved.
Wow.
They have a lot of different kind of political way of views as well.
Cool.
You know, how most of the Trudeau, and we have a lot of different... different politics and system going on, but they France have like a whole different system, but it's a lot of politics. Although in Montreal, it's more of like somewhat of a tribe. If you could describe it as a village, it'd be more like one big village, and in France it'd be more cities, different kind of cities.
Okay.
Remember how they wanted to kind of like separate Montreal or Quebec from like Canada type of thing, right? To stay in their own kind of group.
They wanted that, eh?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, that's they can do. That's on them, right?
Yeah.
We'll work with ourselves and we'll stay in tunes together. But yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, so that's basically it. More of like I see like a village, all the people together, and then the other one is more kind of like partake in different cities.
Cause I've been in Paris.
Yeah.
Especially at the airport, man.
Yes.
I grew up in a French country, and I love France, and I love just being a French person.
Yeah.
But these people are very tough, man.
Yeah.
What do you mean by tough though?
There are tough guys down there, man.
It's different.
I've never been.
Yeah.
They're
They're more straight to the point.
Yeah,
they're more snob.
They're straight to the point.
Yeah, straight like
interesting.
Very straight to the point.
Wow,
and they don't have how I would say this, like culture wise, flavor when they speak. They're more very very direct, to the point.
Yeah.
In some way, right? If that you'd really have to experience to fully understand the principles.
Yeah.
But
man,
yeah,
so that must have been a big transition for you as a kid, I would say, because you say you 4 years old.
4 years old, felt like I was 25.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
and then you started school back in Montreal. Then you moved to France for that.
Okay, so you want to. Okay, if you want to dive into the school,
because when you get there now, you gotta have to make sure you learn yourself, right?
Yes.
When you get to France, you have to continue your life that you had started back in Montreal.
Yeah, I'm extremely happy that you brought that subject to the table. Actually, I know we're gonna somewhat dive into that, but I actually got kicked out of like 5 different kindergartens, man, because I was just a troublemaking kid. Like I just looked.
See, that's why I need to have a little button right here.
It is. Change it up. Switch it up. So,
come on, man. So this, we'll dive into that later. But so this trouble kid started back.
It started in kindergarten in Montreal.
Wow.
In the little city.
You've come a long way, brother.
I've come a long way.
Long way.
A long way to a lot of when you think you have wisdom, you're just not even close to knowing what wisdom is. And wisdom sometimes can be joyful, and wisdom sometimes can hurt a lot. Wisdom can bring a lot of tears to your 100%. Eyes. But yeah, going back to the school. So I can't quite remember the name of my first kindergarten, but here it is. And this is gonna sound extremely weird. I was like 2 years old, 3 years old, or somewhat like that. Just very young. And the way for me to show affection to other people was to grab onto them and kiss their cheeks. You know, as a little toddler, as an infant, and I would accidentally bite their cheeks. Oh, so that's right. is the weirdest.
Well, that's
it's different.
Yeah,
for sure. I can say that.
The way you're expressing your love.
Expressing my love. And it's funny because that you say that the teachers were concerned that I might have a psychological problem where right? It's not normal. Someone biting another kid's face is
like a aggressive bite, or we talking about like just
I left some marks. Yeah. I left. It was a little purple there, you know. Wow. I was like that. It started young, man. Thank God I met God, right? So, So then it already started from there for me, kind of like not fitting in.
Okay.
I started not feeling in at 3 years old. So such a young age, you already think that you're not part, or you shouldn't be part of the system, or you think that you're like an outlaw, like you don't fit in anywhere.
Man, that's tough right there.
You have a family that loves you, right? But in terms of like you leaving your household and being outside in the real world, you don't feel like you fit in. And it's kind of weird.
With others, right?
Yeah.
But that problem, with people deal with it a lot now too.
Definitely, so for sure. Yeah. Yeah,
it's an ongoing problem, man. Yeah, and like that's where you see some people grow up to be very, very different. You know, the reason why they don't trust other people is because they go through this kind of thing. You feel like you can't get along with other people, or like you feel like you're very outside, so you don't want to trust nobody. You know, So that must be very tough, man. Growing up,
it was extremely difficult.
Yeah,
it was extremely difficult to live with that because you're not even aware. That you don't really know that you're not fitting in. It's just an idea. It's a thought. It's a vibration. Like it's an energy. You don't really understand what not fitting is. You're so young. You don't understand what it is yet.
Just like,
that's what makes it more difficult. It makes it more difficult now because you don't know how you don't know what you're feeling. You're kind of feeling lost and lonely, but you don't know what it is. You don't know how to fix it, and you haven't experienced life enough to understand how to fix it.
For real.
So you gotta go with it and figure ways out to fix the problem, fix the solution, or to leave it as it is and be a victim your whole life.
Wow.
Right? So I was 3 years old. I felt like I was 30 years old, man, you know.
You were stressed out.
Living in like a little infant's body. Yeah, stressed. Yeah, and right? And now you can see how that goes up and impacts your life as you get older too.
Of course,
because that little kid that was once scared and felt insecure and like lonely and left out, he lives inside your subconscious and your soul for as long as you leave it.
That is
so
true.
You gotta address that really quickly and fix that. But so then I got kicked out. Going back to biting, right? I got kicked out of school of that school. They sent me to a specialist. And then the specialist said William just has a very, very, very strong approach to love, and he's showing his love in a different way that other kids do.
Did they consider you're dangerous for the
not dangerous, but not suitable for the school?
Because they want you to work on yourself, basically.
Yes, to see professionals or to go into like another school where like it's like it's almost like a life's pyramid. It's almost like the penthouse is like the top guy with the Ferraris and like the nice jewelry, the nice cars, the woman. He's got it all, man. Like, and it starts when you're like an infant and like a little child as well, right?
Yeah.
Now, I was at the top of the school line where it's like everything's cool, like like they got good education system. The classrooms are nice. It's proper. It's organized. It's clean, right? and then you get set down at the bottom now because you're not fitting in. You're a little different.
Yeah.
You don't have what it takes.
Yeah.
You don't have the criteria. Yeah. You don't have the positive attitude, the positive mindset. You don't have what the teacher wants you to have. Sometimes the teachers will force something upon the child that he needs to have, and that's not always good. So then I was sent to another school.
That crazy though. I mean, I find it very crazy because I feel like, you know, I don't know about those time. You know, I feel like later on there was definitely a lot more solutions you can go about this problem, this issue. Yeah, you know, because we used to. I used to see some kids in my school. We used to have like a small classroom where there can only be people who can handle you privately with those matters, right? Yeah. So like, I found that very surprising. That's all I wanted to say. That you got kicked out from. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was one of the first schools that I got kicked out of, and then it went on to another, it led to another kindergarten, and then that kindergarten, you know, it wasn't the biting situation, but it was more like, you know, always speaking when the teacher's speaking, always kind of leaving the classroom whenever I wanted to, just kind of doing. It started very, very early. Wow. Yeah, that was carried away, right, a little bit into high school, but definitely. And then I would just get kicked out of the other kindergarten because they couldn't keep me because I was so agitated. I wanted to get out of the house, get out of the classroom and live. I wanted to live. I wanted to explore what was outside the school education system, where I would always wonder and ask myself this question: why do we have to go in a box and learn the same thing and raise our hand all at the same time and go to the washroom? We have to, like, I would ask all these questions.
You were so curious, right?
So curious about, like, why are we all going to the same place at the same time, learning the same thing? Man, I wanted to change that. Wow, I wanted to change that. So I tested the limits. I tested the system. I tested it to see where I would go, where I would end up, what I would learn.
They fired back to you, right?
Fired back to me strong, but I fired back even stronger, baby. I fired back even stronger. I fired back even stronger. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
The system trying to get you, I'll get you back. You know, I'll get you back double.
But that's crazy though, because, you know, when I came to that school, right, that's how we met. And the more connection we had was doing these things that we were doing. Because I didn't know that that was your problem even way before. Yeah. I thought I just met you there and that's how we connect.
That was me.
So you see, I came with a different mindset, more from Africa. Yeah. I met him and I'm doing the exact same thing he's doing, but I didn't know he started way back. So
he's known.
He's known for it. So I'm just finding these things right now. But yeah, I would see him literally. I would see him get up. Everybody in school is like, spell out toilet, you know? Yeah. And then say, oh, we spell it.
William,
but William gets up, he goes right away, walk out the door. I'm like, where you going? You know? Where you going? And then he's like, the teacher asks him, where are you going? And he's like, the washroom. I was like, okay, go to the washroom, but if you come back, you're staying outside. You're not coming back in the class. And we probably wouldn't take that serious. You keep going. You just walk back.
Yeah, I had a mission. I had a mission.
Come back.
I know, Leah, like, good. I'm like, you lock the door. I'm gonna find a solution to get back in, and like,
wow,
you know, and we keep going. You know, we keep going.
William,
that's wow.
Do you think all this were coming from the fact that you were kind of like stubborn, or just because teachers didn't understand who you really are?
Both.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I feel like that's where school systems also, you know, get it wrong. You know? Every kid cannot be the same.
100%.
No.
100%.
And then, you know, you get one teacher, you stack him in a room where there's 100 kids, and then everybody's got their own way of thinking, right?
Yeah.
You should be the master, that the teacher should be able to understand children.
Yeah.
So you think it's not just you being stubborn, right?
No. So it's 3 factors. It's three things, right? Teacher.
Yes.
Myself being stubborn, and household problems. That has a lot to do with it. Friends? So what about friends? I didn't have much friends. It was very hard to like make friends when I was like really young.
Okay. What about coming to to school?
Coming to school
after friends.
After friends? That's also a very deeper subject. It's a different kind of category. Oh, so wait on that. We'll get back to that.
It's a big step.
It's huge.
Let's stick with friends, right? That's actually we're still in.
And I'll go back to the three or the three elements, factors, right? So so we have my stubbornness, right? And then we have the teacher as well, like it's just trying to teach all the kids the same thing at the same time. And when I said household, what did I mean by that? So I mean, if your mom teaches you specific things and your papa teaches you other specific things, but they don't have enough discipline on you to teach you things and valuable stuff in life for you to learn, for you to be properly organized when you go to school. If you go to school without have them not teach you anything or good values or good trait in life, you will bring that to the school system, into the system.
Cool.
You'll bring that into your workplace now, because it has a lot to do, like, it's the roots. A lot of the roots is the parenting as well. So that has a lot to do with the factor that I was like that as well. Because the influence, your father and your mother has a lot of influence on you.
Of course, yeah.
So that's also, if that makes sense, right? The three elements.
So there was like a confusion from the first education you got from home.
Yes.
You kind of like got confused because what mama is saying might not be what papa is saying.
Exactly.
And they're not putting it together so you can see it as one thing, right?
Yeah.
So now you're learning from both sides. And now you have this mind that is split.
Bingo.
You go to school, now you blame it on the teacher.
Yes.
And the teacher cannot take it.
Very well. That was very well explained. That was very well explained. That was like, we went through like the scientific term on that one. That was good.
Wow. See, that put me in a different position.
Now, if now that you are, you are aware of all these things.
Yes.
If you were to be the teacher, how would you act in that type of situation?
So I can't necessarily put myself in other people's shoes.
Okay.
Right? Because I wouldn't be able to. I would have done it, to answer your question, a whole different way.
Yeah.
Not putting myself in anybody's shoes.
Yeah.
But if I would have done it my way, there'd be a lot of different things that I would probably change. And they did have, parents come in the school system and talking to the teachers, because the teachers want to tell the parents what's going on with the kids. But there's also your parents all together are having a whole other conversation. Sometimes they don't necessarily agree with the teacher. And they also want to protect the children that they have against the word of the teacher. So it kind of bounces back in every corner. But if it was me as a professor, I would be very humble and kind and understanding of the backgrounds of where they come from, of what happened to them, their history, their stories, and I would be more understanding. I would be a teacher that would understand, that would need to understand. It's not like wanting to like maybe understand. You have to understand. You have to understand where they come from, why are they hurt, why are they like this, what's going on. You can't just blame the kid. You can't just oppose and suppress the kid while trying to teach them every single thing all at once and all together, and teach them all the same thing over and over and over. The curriculum, right? The curriculum.
Don't you think that can lead into getting parents in trouble? Like when you start bringing that to their attention, like you know, your kid is really like,
Yes. Ultimately, it could, but
because the government is there, right? They'll be like,
the government is there.
Yeah, your kids is bringing some behaviors at school that affect other people's kids.
Yes, and that is why I got kicked out of most schools.
That's most.
That's the root of it, right? Yeah. That's why also that I got proclaimed to be like a misfit, like an outlaw. He doesn't really fit in because he's starting to figure out a lot more about the system that we want him to know. Kick him out. Get rid of him. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah. Wow. Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm excited to move on to the French thing, right? Like, hold on. We're starting early.
No, we gotta know that.
But you probably didn't even know that as well, right?
I had no idea.
Right. So I'm very happy that I'm sharing all these things, and it allows me to actually open up my mind a lot more when I'm speaking to everyone.
That's why this podcast is all about, though. We want to come out here and talk about the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why Major always trying to look into people here. We come out here, we bring out the truth because somebody will relate to the problem you were going through. Yeah. And they will question themselves, why am I like this? Yeah. But there's somebody out there who's trying to have a message for you. So you pay attention, man. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, man. We got a lot of crazy stuff going on here. I'm telling you. We got to make sure we keep going.
I was about to bring some heat.
You're bringing them heat tonight, bro.
Yeah. So school system was definitely a huge part of.
Wow.
Okay.
And do you think to me as a parent, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a failure coming from parents?
Failure?
Do you think that can be a failure from as a parent,
that's a very deep question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a tough one. Yes.
Okay. Can you?
Yes, I can. I will explain why. You have the power, and you will be able to rule over your own children to a certain degree. To when they, I don't want to get too involved into any religion at all, but to a point and degree where if he or her meets a wife or a groom, or they've go into a relationship to that age where like they find a husband or a wife, that they leave the household, to their responsibility now. They can become parents of their own.
They can become parents of their own.
But anywhere before that, since they were born to 18 or the legal age, I would say, technically,
you are in control.
Governmentally, they'll be your kids forever.
Yeah.
They'll be your children forever.
That's for sure, yeah.
To eternity. Right? But it is the parents and the father's responsibility and duty to teach his child, to show his children the right of way. Right? So, and we all make mistakes though.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
Right?
So without going deeper,
yes,
very deeper into this, don't you think the system is really pressing on fathers in terms of providing food and paying rent and everything, like financially, that the fathers have to be busy, like every day finding something to to protect the family.
Yes.
Now they surrender the kids to the mom.
Yes.
And now kids are learning, how mothers are really soft.
Yes. It's not supposed to be that way.
Yeah. It shouldn't be that way. But how would you help those who are into this situation?
Into the situation, I would say try to learn as much as you can from your papa. But if you don't have one, search for what a good father would say to you. Search from what a good man would teach you.
Now you are telling a 3 years old child right now?
Well, depending on the age, but if you want to bring 3 years old is different.
Yeah.
Right, I don't know how old your kids are or anything like that. I'm not sure.
Maybe we should tell the parents.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to fire back to the
parents, because children are not really responsible.
Yes.
The fact that you are called a child, you're not responsible.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe we should tell the parents what to do in this case. Like
in this case,
if the father and mother,
Yeah, if they're if their mother has more I guess if they
control on kids because she's home every time.
Yeah. So there are things that a father should be able to say and do with his child that a mother can't, and vice versa. There are things that a mother, and a daughter can do and say together that a father can't to his daughter. And it's totally a different way. And particularly, if you ask me this question, how would you involve a kid more with his father, or how would you push, right? And we're gonna leave out of the way that he doesn't have or he has a father, or picturing that he does have a father, right?
He does have a father, who's working
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I would just have a communication. I would talk to the mom. Communication is like 100% important in that case. And come to terms, like you're teaching my kid that, I'm teaching your kid this, that. Like, what are you guys have to come up to a conclusion of, like, I want to be able to take my son out to do these kind of things, and I want to have that kind of conversation with my son. And it should be the end of the story there. You're the man of the house. As a duty as a man.
That's true.
But I feel like regardless of a mother or a father, I feel like those always have to be one goal for how you want to raise your kid.
Yes.
Right? There's always have to be, no matter how you want to, a father has to teach their kid, or the mother have to teach their kid, but they are parents. They have to have one goal, to raise that child in a way they both agree that child to be.
Don't you think every family says they have a goal until they don't have any?
Yes, it's always like that.
They just don't follow even what they think they're doing, right?
Yeah, shit hits the fan. That's what we like to say.
That's what I'm saying. It should.
Yeah.
Even obviously, life is different obstacles in life. There's a lot of disagreements that comes into that.
Yeah.
That also affects the child's life as well, right? So,
so particularly, you have different values you have a different culture, maybe even a different religion, how you want your household to be, you have to put that on lockdown and take care of your family and your own business and your own things together as a unit, as one family. And then we leave it there.
Good. That's
whatever comes externally, you can shield it. You can fight back. You can protect it. You can shield it away. Push it away, shield it away, and then have your own clan. Teach them what you want to teach them. Show them the right way of the passage.
yeah.
Wow. I mean, we're gonna let the people know what they think, because I'm pretty sure people will be commenting if what their point of views is for this, you know.
Yeah.
Which is it's a good topic, man. Because
it's a whole different topic. It's a whole different topic too, right?
It's good that people are hearing from somebody who has experience, who grew up as a child, you know. He's not making up things.
No,
he's telling the things that he went through.
Yeah,
right. Which is
100%
really good. Because for some parents, I feel like taking a kid to school is just like a big dream for them. That's it. You know.
Yeah.
They feel like the entire education is now belonging to the school.
Yeah.
They forget their parts.
Yeah,
that's deep right there.
You see a mother who insults the kids, you know, all day long, but they can't want the teacher even to tell their kid that you are stupid.
Yeah,
but she always say you are like your dad. You're just like your dad.
That's true. Yeah, that's
stupid like your dad.
It's a sad reality, right?
It is what it is.
It's a sad reality, man.
Wow.
And that has a lot to do with the kid's future as well, because when you say that to your kid or to your child, it stays in their mind, and they become what they think. They
become whatever you tell them.
Right, exactly, right. So you have guidance over that as well. But that's a tough one.
Okay.
Tell you, look at that head, stupid like your dad. Like what?
Yeah, that's happening a lot. In African school, they hate you, man. They don't care.
Yeah.
Come here with your big head.
Yeah,
just like your dad.
You don't feel good.
No, you don't feel good.
You don't feel good.
If the teacher does it,
my dad has a big.
Now the bear mom is working up, right?
Yeah,
I'm a bear.
Oh man, it's
it's work up. Oh yeah. Why you tell that my kid? Like, oh, of course that's what you say.
Because your kid goes back home and say, yeah, my teacher said this. I have my head like yours.
Yeah,
you know, I used to do that.
Yeah.
They beat me.
Yeah.
Because I have a head like yours.
Oh. You believe, bro. You believe.
You do. Because when you're a kid, man, you feel, first of all, embarrassed in front of all this class.
Children just copy whatever you tell them, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, and it just goes in and in and in again.
Yeah.
But,
it's beautiful.
Wow. Man, I'm just going to say, man, this is going to be for the end of the show, but you're a strong person, and you got to keep carrying that, really man, strong, because you've obviously, the foundation where you come from, you had to go through some steps. It's like every day is a step for you.
Yeah.
You know, every day is a step for you.
Yeah.
And people will see that, man. They hear that, they hear your story, they see that. But when you got kicked out of school in Montreal,
yes,
what next? What happened?
Cool. I'm glad we're really diving into this, you know, like step by step.
Which obviously we'll try to,
because that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Step by step. Like life in general. Just take it one day at a time.
Yes, sir.
Just breathe. So after that, when I got kicked out of a few schools in Montreal, now I think we should be ready to. Well, initially we kind of stopped going to school for a short period of time because now we had to make the decision, or the parents had to make the decision to leave to France. So now,
interesting.
So now maybe I was off, you know, for a few months.
Oh wow.
To kind of get things together, put the pieces together, and then on an airplane we go, and now we're on our way to France. So let's go for the next chapter. Let's go next chapter.
The book is switched now.
Yeah. Now we're in France.
You gotta carry your culture now to France, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That culture of coming from Montreal.
Yeah.
Was it difficult for you?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Even
though you speak French.
So they thought I was like a whole other person. Like they thought I was like just a whole it's a whole different culture. They're like, where are you from?
Yeah.
Canada? They all speak it like that in Canada? I'm like, what do you speak like? Speak like what? I'm speaking like you, bro. I'm speaking French. They're like, huh? They couldn't process, bro. They couldn't hear it. It was so broken down.
They
couldn't. I could. So what happened? I had to adapt to their French.
Yeah.
So my language, like my tongue, like my native language, and my pronunciations, my verbs, and everything, and the sound, the vibration. I slowly transitioned to literally speaking the French language from France. Because you learn so much when you're a kid. You absorb so much when you're right. Yeah. And then that was definitely when I arrived there. You know, you're in a whole different environment. It's a whole different world. Like you know, you're just and it's you know, like even if it's the same language, like that doesn't matter. Like you're
100%.
We're like across the water, man. Like 100%. Like far away. It's like totally different. The language is different. The clothings are different. The people looking at you is different. Everything is like the air is different. The perfume. I can still smell the perfume, bro. Like man, the perfumes are different, bro.
Yeah, French people love perfume.
That's like, and that's good stuff. They got some kind of perfume.
I'm definitely sure you're very obviously terrified. You just wasn't comfortable.
Yeah,
it takes me back to when I came to school the first time I came to EGR.
Yeah,
you know, same feeling because now I just left my school back in Uganda. Where I had my friends out there, you know, and now I'm in this. It feels like it's like a blink, and I'm like, man, you just close your eye, wake up in something else.
It's like, weird.
Yeah. The kids are dressing differently. You know, they're behaving differently because there's some things that
no uniforms,
man. Because in my school, you had to wear a uniform. You don't wear it, you're in trouble. Like, you don't want to get in trouble.
You punish. No. The hitting comes.
So I was nervous. I was so nervous.
Yeah.
You know, and
So,
but adapting because you lived there for 4 years.
Yes.
Adapting into that. How was that process for you?
Extremely difficult.
And like
nothing was
easy. How did you end up actually finding? You know what? I'm
a bit easier.
There.
Yeah. Finding it a bit easier. Yeah.
How you started going through that like process and feeling like, okay, now I'm feeling it a lot more, and I feel like now I'm not scared.
Okay.
You know.
So I never. Okay.
Or were you scared until the 4 years?
So like it just got worse. Like it only got worse. Just putting it this way.
There's no good.
Right,
there's no good.
Right. So like, and that
it's no more. Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool to see, but because like it's like a lot of people here in Canada and here around the world.
Yeah.
They ask me this question: how are you the man that you are today? They're like, how are you much you're a wise man. You're fit, you're strong, you got a strong household. And then I feel like Let's Talk on this podcast is an absolute beauty for me to share all detail for the population in the whole world to understand.
I love it, man.
What I've been through and what I've gone through, and I can actually express and say it in details and in sequence and in chapters. Wow. But no, to answer your question, it just gotten worse. So I had to adapt being uncomfortable.
Wow. You know
this is my normal life.
Yeah.
And I have to understand that this is gonna be like that every day.
Yeah.
So how can I fight the system back?
Yeah.
On my daily basis.
Yeah.
So right.
That's 100% true.
So how can I and I kind of carried that throughout my whole childhood, right? We were talking about like in school, like kind of like fighting back the system against the teacher, like always kind of want to go out of the box. I was uncomfortable in school. I mean, this isn't really right, 100% right.
That connects the pieces, man.
Right, does connect the pieces. It completes you in a way. So yeah, no, it didn't get easier. It just got a lot worse. And what I will elaborate.
Wow. Would like to elaborate on that. How did you not get what was the most difficult part of it? You would say. Was it just
so I think one, household again. I think my dad drinking a lot and yelling a lot and abusing my mom a lot and abusing us as well had a lot to do.
Now we can tell.
We got a different side now.
You know what I mean? Because like I have to I want to incorporate all that because that's why I always bring it back to the household because it has a lot to do with the children's behavior.
100%.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So. And that made it even harder, man. I was like, yo, Pops, like, why do you gotta bring all this shit to the household while we're doing all that and we're going through all this and you know it's the whole different space and area and in France so the hardest part I think it would be leaving my household in the morning. My dad not being the nicest man, again, drinking a lot, saying all these mean comments to my mom.
Yeah.
He was so insecure. I'm gonna put it this way. He had a lot of insecurities that he would throw on us, that he would throw on our children, on the family, on my mother, to hide his own insecurity, to block it.
Tough.
He'll rebound on it against us, right? So I had to carry out his insecurity in school and grocery shopping, walking around with my mom. So you had to carry like, your father's burden.
Yeah.
For some time.
I can assume, man.
That was also some of the hardest part to a day-to-day. And going to school, right? That first school that I went to, 5 years old. Man, I felt like an old man again. Like it's crazy. I felt like I was 30, man. My conscience was just so strong. In that school, man, I got fucking bullied so many times.
Wow.
So many times, bro. I got beat up
In France.
in France, bro. Like, see, like I'm like, whoo. I'm like, you look at me now, bro. Look at me now. Like, oh man, nah, I'm just kidding. But these guys, so I would, so it used to be a division where at the bottom it used to be different units. So you have different divisions. At the bottom is like a whole kind of like the elementary school, and at the top section you'd have like a flights of stairs and everything. It'd be the high school. So it'd literally be a block compartment and another block compartment for the elementary and then the high school, right literally in the same kind of like district.
Interesting.
So when I get jumped by like 5 guys, like literally I'd walk up to a group of people, they'd just fucking grab me, toss me down, start beating the shit out of me.
No way.
My two brothers were a little older than me, right? So they were in different divisions. So they'd seen that because I had brothers as well, right? Get into the siblings after, right? How many siblings I got? We'll get to that. We'll get to that as well. We'll get to that, right? But so my two brothers, seeing that I was gonna get bullied, they jumped the fence. They walked down the stairs, and they came and saved me and like protected me, and like they just took the other guys out, like beat the other guys up.
Actors too. They were tough too, eh?
Yeah, they were tough too. I mean, we're protecting our family, right?
Yeah,
we're protecting our household. Like your household.
Montreal versus France right there, man.
Yeah, your household could be carried. Yeah, I know it's crazy. Yeah, a lot. There was a lot to it, man.
You know, my brothers will say we gotta protect that little stubborn little brother.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Beat him up.
He's not gonna do anything right now.
We know what he's done, but we gotta protect him for the sake of the family.
Honestly, what are you doing?
Yeah. That was definitely hard. Every time, like, I have such a close connection to my mom. I can also relate for a lot of women out there, a lot of single moms, and just women in particular. I have a mad respect for women in general, single moms, and even moms in general. Mad respect.
Yeah.
They go through a lot. Right.
Shout out to
the mothers in general that just go through shit and nobody ever sees their grind and their growth. Like in the dark times, like when they're pushing hard and nobody sees it but themselves. And hopefully the kids later down the road that they provided for, they cared for, realize that. Hopefully.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got kicked out of that school.
Oh, that's cool too?
Yeah.
For getting beat up or when I standing up for yourself, what? So these guys
I was
take your ass back to Canada.
Put him back on the plane. It's like put him in the cargo. He's not allowed to go on top of this section. He's gonna create a scenario. He's gonna create a scenario there too, right?
Wow.
Right. So no, it's weird, man. I mean, it doesn't even sound right, but I did get kicked out of that school as well. Again, now, like, I'm like, yo, this system is like fighting hard. Like, I gotta fight way harder. You know what I mean? Like, now I got thrown in France. I'm in, bro. Okay, hold on. I'm like, I was in Montreal the next day, and now I'm in France, and like I got kicked out of there, and I'm like they're fighting there in France too. Like, I'm like, where am I going, bro? Where am I gonna end up? Like, on what island am I gonna go next, bro? Like, you start questioning all these things, right? Because you're following your parents and all that, right?
Wow.
The people that take care of you. You know what
I don't want to do this, man. Hey, let's keep it serious, man.
It's hard not to sometimes. You have to have a good laugh about it eventually. You know what I mean?
We have plenty, man, but I want to dig deep into because we want to make sure as much education as we can, man. But your story is powerful.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 100% sure there's a lot of things that you went through that people can look and be like, what I'm going through, if this guy can get through that, I can get through what I'm going through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I understand French was, you know, very difficult, very hard, and you went through some crazy stuff. What after when you got kicked off that school?
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Did you?
I got worse.
Oh my goodness! Okay.
Like way worse.
Now, what point of the time was that? Just when you got to France, or was it like after 2 years?
I would say it was about almost the last year. Yeah, so 3 years down. Okay. 3 years down. So I stayed to that school, you know, for quite some time. I adapted a little more to that school.
Yeah.
And it didn't get really any easier though.
Yeah.
But man, I had a lot of a lot of different kind of homies down there. Right? I'm not saying I did have some homies. And it was kind of like, the funny thing is, it's kind of like here, Surrey as well. Is cultured.
Oh really?
Cultured. Like cultured. And in the area that we lived, on our street, it was more of the when we got to France, parents got money. Like parents had money for. I don't know 100% what they were doing. Right, I know they were in computer engineering, but we had like some kind of looking castle. Like we had like the nicest cars. You know, we had some stuff in France. I didn't even know how all that happened because we didn't have that much money in Montreal. And then the euro was like, right, so I don't know how all that happened. We actually talked to my mom about it, sit her down, but yo, you can tell me now. I'm grown, you know, you can tell me like, did you guys like export import type of thing or what? Like, you know, like from France and like toss it in like a Swedish bank account or something. What's going on? But yeah, and then it's right. That was the section in the front, and then the back, the ghettoest place that you can ever see. Like, ghetto. Like, and that's my style. Like that was my style. I was in the projects home all the time, kicking up trash cans, doing some crazy things with homies. But we get shot at. We got shot at by a sniper, like a rifle at one point. Like we were in skateboard and we're in the projects home, and then one guy had like a laser pointer, and it was raining and stuff. We're going to the corner store. It was about like 9:45 at night, and I remember all this. And I'm 5 years old. It's fucking insane. And then we see the laser pointer. And my brother's like, he's like, yo, what is that? I'm like, this laser, bro. I'm like, fucking whoa, right? Going skateboard. There's garbage cans. You know, like the big bins that we have here, like the big open up garbage cans, like the metal ones.
Yeah.
Bro, we see the laser, bro, and next thing you know, from the projects apartment, we're like, and like the camera right there went like, bing. And we're like,
no way.
Yeah, bro. And
I didn't know.
For sure. Yeah. Like my Alex could tell you the same story as well. Like he was there. Sam was with me. My two brothers were with me, actually, crazy. Sam and Alex. And then we just kind of ran away. Our hearts were beating like super fast, and you know, we just kind of went about. I think we still ended up going to the corner store though, like, because it was so normal.
Wow.
You know, it was like bro. And then to try to catch my brother again the next day, there was like this whole like group of guys like coming through him, and they were like, "Yo, put yourself on the pole over there." And then one of the guys was on top of the building, and he was like posted up on the pole. One of the gangsters like, "Yo, go on the pole right there and just stand there for a sec. We'll beat you up."
What?
So he's standing there, bro, and he looked. I'm like, "Yo, Alex, look!" And then he looked over there and pushed one of the guys, and then they all like couldn't follow back up. They all ran after him and stuff. They all ran after me, and it was like a constant battle versus just like humanity and people, and you know, like the whole everything, bro. Like everyday battle. Not even in school, right? Man, we're talking outside and in school, every day.
That's crazy, man. Wow.
I don't want to go too far into deviation of the. We can talk about that as well, but after school. Bro, they sent like this one thing was like the next level thing for me. I was like, if this is not like understanding the Matrix, I don't know what is, bro. Because I was in this place where it's like a castle, bro. Like for people or for children, I would say that have mental issues, that have a violent.
They put you there?
They put me in the but right. I'm gonna get there. So yeah, and that's when I cracked the code. I'm like, this is it. This is it.
Crack the code.
I'm like, yeah, you know.
That's what you got to figure it out.
Bro, yeah, I almost though, right? Almost, because I'm
Almost.
like and I'm making my way there, getting kicked out of class, going to see specialists and stuff like that. I'm like trying to figure them out while they're trying to figure me out, right? They're trying to figure me out, trying to figure them out. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to like these guys are like PhD degree doctors and all that. I'm like, no, I'm trying to figure you out. Like I'm like 5 years old, right? Fuck. So then I get to that school, bro. It's like some weird looking castle facility school. And then I was just going to be there for some time. But anyways, a lot of kids were like there permanently. So they would like reside there and sleep there. But I would get to go home as a privilege at the end of the day.
So
thank God.
Why did you get sent to that?
I got sent to that school because no other school wanted to take me.
Okay. So did your parents talk?
He has a mental problem.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
So did your parents speak to the people who?
My parents, they grew, but back in the days, they were not mentally as strong as they were today.
Okay.
So they didn't really know what to do with me. They didn't know how. They had so much problem with schools their whole life with me. So they're like, okay, maybe we should have to try that option. Yeah. We don't really know like what's working now, right?
I see.
That's why you gotta be so fucking strong every day, bro, to like not let your kid go through that and like have every possible ways to understand why he's why he's doing this and why he was doing that. It's an everyday battle that you have to figure out. You have to learn, to talk to your kid. You have to communicate with your kid all the time. That's what parenting nowadays don't do. They don't talk to their kids as much as they should. They don't communicate and voice things as much as they should. They leave it out. And the kids he goes his own way. And like my way, that's what happened to me. I was trying to fucking figure it out, fighting the system. I was like, parents are not going to do anything. Teachers are not going to do anything. I didn't even know about God. I didn't even know that God even existed that one time. So I was like, me versus the whole world.
That's crazy, man.
But thank God I'm not dead or in prison, bro. Like that's crazy.
100%. But not for me.
That's victory.
So I was kicked out. So I was put in this school. I haven't got kicked out of that school. We actually left. We went back to Canada after. But I can tell you a lot of stories there at that school. You know that were also very hard. That was also bringing some trust issues in me.
I mean, we there's a lot of coverage.
Yes.
Because I know you and I know how much projects you have in your life.
Yeah.
I know how you went through your life to get to those projects. I did want to dive into that because I think that's very, very educational, because people do have those things in life where they change who they are at one point and then change who they are at another point again. Yeah. And then it's just still trying to figure out yourself, right? But now it clicks. It makes sense now because when you came to my school, when I met you, you know what I'm saying?
That was all after that.
It's
crazy though, right?
He had a long hair, skateboarding every day.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just thought that man. He's like, he's a Canadian guy. He likes to skateboard.
It's normal.
And every way you were acting exactly like those French, times, everything. Like, shit, man.
Yeah.
The ladies, damn, let's go do this thing.
Yeah.
So I understand. Yeah,
I would still pick up some stuff that I left from behind.
Exactly. So I understand now how that came by. But my question to you was, because when you came to my school, the problem was still following you, man.
Yeah.
The problem was because at that point you didn't know nobody. You starting. That's how we met. We met our guys, our friends, and all our brothers. Now. Yeah. But
so I initially went to this school in grade 1.
Oh, before?
Before. No. In EGR.
Okay.
Yeah, let's recap for a little bit. That was the after Friends. There's a lot that we have to cover, man. There's a lot that we have to cover. You know what I mean? Like that should be a part. There should be a part. There should be a part 2, man. There should be a part 2. Yeah, because then after Friends, man, we got a lot to fucking go through, man. Because my parents got, talk. My parents got divorced and all that too. We can get into that as well.
Divorced in French?
They got divorced in France because my dad cheated on my mom, and he was just so abusive in any kind of way that you can think of.
In France,
less physical, but more.
A lot of stuff happened in France.
Yeah, right. So man, so many things happened in France. I didn't. You bring the question to me and I'll answer diligently. You know what I mean? Like, but then there's a lot of information that I still have stored that we can still go through, but those are the most important impact, a lot of important stuff that I want to cover that has a lot to do with what's going on as well. So the parents did get divorced. And when they got divorced in France, My dad actually had bought a whole system worth of videography to do his videos because he was like into acting and he was into a cameraman. So he bought a lot of stuff and a lot of equipment for $100,000. So now it didn't work out with, and then so he, and anyways, and so then he cheated on my mom with a Swedish girl. I just know that she's from Sweden. I don't know a lot of details into that, but and then he would just he would abuse my mom verbally all the time, and he would drink a lot, and he would do nothing with his day just by sitting on the computer. But anyways, $100,000 later, they split up. They get divorced. What's next? He goes to the court. He gets a lawyer, bags up, suits up, writes a couple notes down, a couple signatures. Next thing you know, they're divorced. He put her $100,000 in debt. So he put my mom $100,000 in debt, and now they're divorced. So now she's broke. She got bankrupt.
Wow.
She's left with nothing. And she had 3 little boys, 3 little cubs that she had to take care of in France, in another country.
Wow. That's crazy.
So that's how powerful mothers can be, though, right?
It's not
and
easy.
she did a crazy ass job with me, bro. Now I'm like very grateful. Thank God that she kind of
Was she working or she just?
Yeah, she was working
crazy,
in the
man.
computer still, and the technicians fixing the computers and all that.
That's nice.
But after all that, man, like when you have it all, that moment when you have it all, like you're happy, you got the perfect home, you got the perfect life, you got the perfect cars, you got the perfect vocabulary, you got the perfect clothing, everything's good in your life, and then everything is stripped away from you in the blink of an eye. Now we had to go back to Canada. Then we had to go back to live at my grandma's house. We slept sleeping like on the floor, no mattress, like it was sleeping bags. We went back to being ground zero, broke. From being rich to being broke again.
Wow.
It's how the fuck do you right? And I'm like looking at all these things, bro. I'm picking up all these things, right? But yeah, going back to France, before the school and everything like that, they split up. Mom went separate ways. She went back to Montreal. We lived at my grandma's. Dad stayed there for a whole year or a couple months at least till he'd figure some shit out and he'd deal with his own things. Had his consequences, give it to him. Like he had to deal with his own things. Be a fucking real man. Deal with your own shit. Go and learn shit in life. You know what I mean? Go and learn shit. And so from there, my mom met this guy on the internet. Because her best friend said, "Hey, why not you're single? Why don't you just link up with someone on the internet? You got 3 little kids, and I think it's time for you to start maybe another life. Like you've been hurt. You're hurt. Just you're still young. You can still create another life for yourself. Right.
Wow.
And then she met someone. He went to Montreal. He met the whole family. I like this guy. Mom loved this guy. We all liked this guy. He went back. Mom was like, yo, if you really like me, if you really want to be with me, you got to come back again. Another time in Montreal. So he flew back to Montreal again, stayed with us for a little bit. He went there. He's like, told my mom, if you really like me, come move with me. Come move with my children's. Come move. He said that? Yeah, he said that. Come move with my family. Come move with in Vancouver. So now we all moved to Vancouver by the time I'm like 7 or 8. And that's when I first went to EGR. And that's when I first started at that school. And I went there maybe for like a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I went back to Montreal for some time.
Okay.
And then that's when after Montreal, I came back to Vancouver to live with my mom because she's my rock. She's my stone.
Yeah. To
go back with my mom. And that's when grade 5.
Yeah, that's how we met and everything.
That's when we met. That's when, yeah.
Well, so a lot of events, man, happen in your life, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful though.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, man. Like I said, man. Knowing you, man, all this life, I knew you. You have a part of you always holds so much inside,
Oh,
but you can't always share because it's tough to share. Even today, you can see just a little something you're digging out deep.
I'm digging. I ain't even.
You're bringing something deep. It's hard to uncover everything, man.
It's tough. It's tough.
I think we're gonna need to have a part 2.
Part 2 for
we
sure.
definitely want to have that part 2.
Go deeper into all this things.
Where we get into the details of actually bringing light to the world.
Yes.
I want to actually speak about bringing light to the world.
Yeah.
Of how
I really want to hear also some of those.
Yes.
Like, how did you become like convert to Christianity and stuff like that?
Ooh.
And try to understand how deeper you are.
we want to cover.
That's a
more
whole different chapter too. Like that part 3. But yeah, for sure. That's like a whole like a whole season, you know.
William, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever thought of putting some of these things in a book?
I have thought about making a book, although
because I feel like talking about it is good.
Yes,
but maybe write it down because you never know who's gonna read this.
Yes.
You know,
I feel I could write it down, but I feel there's a time and a place for everything, and I feel me being here, I'm at the exact same spot, that I'm exactly where I should be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel for that question, I feel like it probably starts right now, right here. And now that you've been saying me this, I've thought about it somehow, but I hadn't had really a conclusion where
I feel like you.
I want to get in deep down and to start writing it. I'm more of
everything to write a book, man.
Yeah, I
everything.
Express myself a lot more into actions.
Yeah.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Writing for me was more of like a complicated thing, was where I couldn't really relate with the paper and the pen. I can't express myself there. But I can express myself while helping others and helping my body, helping my spirit, connecting everything in action, if that makes sense. But I've thought about it, and maybe hopefully in the future, I'll probably get into it and I'll have a lot more story to share too. So I think it's a future thing.
That'll be amazing. I would be happy to read you in a book, like entirely. Fully.
Yeah. On your own time.
On my own time.
Yeah. Because now, for sure, we gotta wrap it up pretty quickly here, so I get it.
Yeah.
And so definitely. I will have a book one day. I will have a book one day.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
They heard it here first.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also, because everything you went through, you still, nothing could stop you from trying to achieve your goals, man. Every event you had in your life.
Yeah.
You went to. I think you wanted to start to be an actor. You actually wanted to
be many things. Yeah. I started many things.
You actually wanted to be a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Taekwondo and karate. And
you got into it very much.
I was there.
Right?
I was there.
You had everything.
Yeah.
What made you stop?
Different trajectory in life, different passion, different curiosity. Initially, I wanted to become a pro fighter. Mm-hmm. And I was dancing at the same time. I was a pro dancer at the same time. I was a pro break dancer as well at the same time. And I was going on the streets of Granville and Robson Square, putting my cardboard down, busking down, and actually dancing for money, break dancing, doing a show for money. I started there. But initially, what made me stop MMA and karate and all that, what made me end that passion was a different passion. I finished what I had to stand. I finished what I had to do. I had found myself being in a profession where I finished that profession. Now it's an indivisible tool in my belt that I carry on me forever now. Self-defense. Wow. Self-defense is with me forever now. Let's move on to other things. I was fucking so skinny. My papa was like, my second papa, the papa from Vancouver, right? Because I have two papas, right? Second papa from Vancouver said, if I see you lifting weights for a whole year, and you being consistent, like push-ups, whatever, I want to see some result. I'm going to get you a trainer right away. Wow. I'm going to get you a trainer. I'm going to get you a personal trainer to come to the house for him to teach you. But I want to see you being consistent. But a year, man, I got so fucking big. You get me a personal trainer after you think I'm not going to be I'm going to show you how great I am. I'm going to show you how great I am.
And you did it. You went through that.
Yeah.
To the point now.
Yeah, to the point. Yeah.
You started competing.
Yeah, I almost turned pro again. I was almost so close to turning. Yeah.
Because I know that's being pro, it's a huge different lifestyle that you gotta go through.
Definitely.
Was that difficult in a way it pushed you to the edge where you're like, maybe that's not meant for me?
Bodybuilding is a very selfish sport. It's a very dark and alone sport.
Okay.
You're very much competing versus others instead of yourself.
Wow.
So you're always focusing on what's out there and you're never focusing on what's in here. And that's why I left.
It's heavy, man.
For sure. And that's all to the bodybuilders out there. I'm not criticizing anything. And not of your passion. You all have your own directions and your own road to go to. But there's a lot of things and misconceptions out there, and a lot of things that people don't bring to the table. A lot of dark side of the sport that they don't bring to the table and talk. That's another subject as well. But yeah, no, I left that as well because I had different plan, different visions. Yeah. God had told me a lot of things too as well that we can share in the other episode.
That's what,
right?
That's what made you want to cover it. Like, how did you transition that into? Because now what you do is you do such great stuff online. You told me you want to change the world.
Yes.
You can change one person. That's satisfying for the day.
That's what I said. That's what I said. So I'm trying to reach out to millions and millions of people. Initially, the whole world. I want the whole world to have prosperity, to live in light, to evolve as one nation, as one unity, right? To be able to be and feel complete as a human.
Wow.
To feel complete. I think that's what it is. Right? But if I can only touch one person's heart, that's all I need. One person, because that other person can spread the message. And then again, the message can be spread from another person to another person. It starts with one.
Exactly.
It starts with the one. Starts with one. Yeah.
For those who are curious, man, and wondering where to find, all the contact that William posts, he's got a page online, Instagram.
Yep. We can set up a link.
A link is going to be definitely on there.
Put a link in there.
Yeah, and then because I wake up every day in the morning, man, I see it, and it pushes me. But I speak for a lot of people out there. Like I told you, like they feel down sometimes.
Yeah.
They feel like, man, I can't do this no more.
They can't do it.
Like,
they can't do it.
Right?
Yeah, they don't want to get out of bed and
There's even like this little part of what you say that might spike somebody and go through the next day just because of that word that you said.
Yes.
So that's what I always want to tell you, man.
Yeah.
It's huge. You might not know it, but you affect people differently. So you gotta carry on, man. You gotta carry on that, because we've discussed about your life here, going to France, going through all that route, man, the dark time, and that I feel like prepared you for who you are now today. Because now you have so much going on.
Yeah.
That you want to make sure you help people.
Yeah.
Because of that path.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
As well.
Yeah. So you gotta carry on that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think what I still don't understand is how, and that's what you can explain maybe in
episode 2.
In the episode 2.
Yes.
He's coming
back.
Is
how this broken kid from inside, that the world is destroyed, could turn into this great man that I'm seeing here, and
thank you,
very smart.
Thank you.
It's really encouraging, because so many people go through the same problem.
Yes,
but getting into that emancipation, like getting to come out of that, shame, and make yourself a man as you are becoming.
Like why? How?
Yeah. It's really hard.
It's a very good question.
It's really hard. And I think when you take us into details to know how you're managing that.
Yes.
How you getting all this knowledge? Somebody who's been kicked out of school, because I imagine if you've been kicked out of school, it means that so much spaces in your brain, right?
Yeah.
So many things you missed. As a child.
Yes.
Yeah. And now, how did you get all this knowledge you have? You're able to speak languages, different languages, different accent. Like
There's so much to it. There's so much to it.
That's what it is. Like French is not it's not a simple language to learn. And then coming from Quebec to France. That can be also challenging.
Yeah. No, it's very challenging, definitely. We'll say a lot more in episode 2, but what I can say for now of how and why you were saying as a man like I am today. I think the hardest times that I can face, the most difficult and painfulest and shamelessest, like the darker you go, I feel the lighter you can go. The darker you fall, the higher and the more lighter you can rise up. So for me, it's like a ball of eternity that kind of God put it in my spirit, where like the most hurt you're gonna feel, the better you're gonna feel after that. But you have to every day promise me this. God said every day you gotta promise me this. You keep fighting every day. It's not gonna be easy. Matter of fact, it's gonna be extremely hard. But I promise you, that it will be a lot better than what you went through. Wow. It's a promise. It's a promise. And that's what I'm trying to teach and show the whole world. Wow. That it is going to get a lot better than you think, than what you've been ever went through.
Man, I'm out of words, man. I'm like,
I have last one question.
Yes, sir.
I'm really thankful just you're
yes,
here,
sir.
man. That's major.
How often do you read?
Are we talking about biblically, or are we talking about book in general?
Just in general, first of all.
For sure.
I know biblically.
Yeah.
You look
but
like
in general,
read, yeah, a lot.
Yeah, fair question.
Maybe you might encourage some people to read. For
yes,
sure,
thank you. Yeah, I used to fucking hate reading. I disliked reading a lot. Like I hated reading. Sorry for my language. It's kind of a little foul, so we can cut that out, right? Right? Yeah, you know what I mean? But eventually I started reading what I was interested in. So, you know, for me, it was like more of the Bible. And for me, it was more of the self-help books. Because like, you know, like as a broken child, like, and as a broken teenager, you kind of want to know what's going on and what happened to your past. So I started reading slowly, a paragraph, maybe a day of a book that I once wanted to learn.
A day.
A day.
Okay.
I hold up and went up to a paragraph, to 1 page, to 2 pages a day. So I kind of progressed as I went. And then eventually I was reading a book a week. I was reading a book a week. Yeah. Yeah.
That's impressive, man.
I was reading a book a week, but I also had the determination and the will to, you know, like wanting to have to learn to read, the skill set to understand the reading. Eventually it's like a little bit of work. You have to like force yourself to kind of like start liking something and, you know, like, and then you get better at it. And then I kind of broke it down. I was like, man, a book a week is cool, but like, am I really learning like in detail and in depth? Might as well just read one book all over again, back to back, read it again until you get every single thing in there that you can kind of take and put it out to life. That's how I see it now. So I started reading a lot less, but now I'll probably read maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 pages a day.
Wow.
For today.
Wow. Just for the sake of the viewers,
yes,
the people who are watching us right now, I know you do a lot, a lot of things, but would you describe like at least one thing, like this is who I am, this is what I do, like me, I can say I'm an engineer, a sound engineer, like would you describe to them like, okay, William,
yes sir,
I do this?
Absolutely. I am the lit candle.
Sorry,
I would say, right?
Go
to answer your question, I am, to be in different perspective, I am the lit candles that lights up the other candles that are not yet lit. That's what I do.
Wow.
That's what I do. Wow. Right? And a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, one of my brothers, he helped me through that quotation, but it just suited me correctly. And that was who I was. The one that sparks a fire into someone's heart, anybody's heart, anybody who's listening right now who's going through a dark time, I will light you up. I will light you up. You will make it out of it. I promise.
That's what's up, man.
Wow. I'm done.
I know, because for me,
episode.
Everything. We gotta go to.
I think we gotta get ready. You know, every time we bring him in, we should be the one preparing. We should prepare.
You gotta ask some fire questions because I'm about to like, you know what I mean?
We
like,
need a lot more energy.
You bring the fire. You bring the fire. You know, you bring the fire. I'll bring water, earth, air, the whole element, bro. I'm bringing the elements of life.
Warm up.
That was just a warm up. Yeah.
No, but for real, everything like I say, you say because we all have different paths in life.
Yeah.
Like we say, you know, me carrying on my day. Everything that you say, you gotta love first of all what you're doing. You know what I'm saying, and then you gotta listen to your heart and listen to what every word you say. It connects with me because music is the same thing. It's same thing with me. Like you say, you like reading. And you gotta actually really like reading. That's how you're gonna get better at it.
Yeah.
I love music and I want to perfect it in any way I can. You know what I'm saying? So everything that you say on a daily basis, man, it just motivates me to keep on carrying my career too as well. You know, and trying to be that person who can vocalize, you know, my message through my music to people and they can hear it, you know, motivation wise and all that. You know, that's my plan as well. So I thank you, man, for that. I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Man, I thank you for that, man. But
thanks to tanks.
But this is not over. We got a lot to cover, man, for next episodes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but we want to appreciate and thank William for joining us here today, AFRODIASPO podcast, man. It's a good episode. We had a lot to cover. It was definitely deep. But we definitely want to know a lot more of what transition you from that person facing all these difficulties to now a happy guy who wants to help other people and light other candles, man. So that's what it's all about. That's what we want to uncover for next episode, man. So anything else you want to say, Major, man? I'm just very excited and happy for that, man. Honestly.
I'm really happy too, and I want to remind people that this is some of the reason why we're here.
Absolutely.
You know, we're here because we know that there are people who are out there who can impact your life. Yeah. And you can also be the one who can impact somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
So come here. We're going to receive you too.
Yeah.
You're 100%. Welcome.
100%.
Yeah. We're really happy to have William in the house.
Thank you. It's a very big blessing.
You gotta shout out your page too, bro.
Yeah, so I got my main page. Shout out to one of my main page, and probably the only biggest page that I have is FAUCHER Motivation.
Yes, sir.
7. That's on IG and Instagram. You will be able to have the link. We'll have a display of the link inside of the blog here. So that is my biggest platform. Just started on TikTok, so give me some time to kind of figure that out, right? And eventually, we'll suit it up and we'll all go through to YouTube channel eventually. But it starts with one, man.
Exactly.
It starts with one. It starts with one, baby. So just make sure you check that out, and I will be happy, the happiest man to share all the knowledge and the wisdom, and to share positiveness into your life and light into your darkness every day I post, because getting out of challenge, getting out of darkness is an everyday thing. There is no time off. You got to fight every day. So I love you, and thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here, man. And do not forget.
Finish.
Yes, Major, what's up?
If for the people, if you think we should record even 2 hours motivation videos for William, should let us know.
Comment down below, bro.
Yep, fair.
Because we think like he has a lot to share.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just to motivate people.
Thank you so much, man. I do appreciate you. Thank you for watching AFRODIASPO podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, bro. Thank you for being here, man.
Thank you.